Hi, I'm Despa. You're watching Meet the Artist, and today I'm be83. I'm here with DJ Big Mikee.
Don't know Despa.
Long time. I have to give the intros. Like DJ Big Mikee from when I was a little Desi in the music game was a person that I used to look up to and still look up to now. So it's my pleasure and honor to sit down with one of the pioneers of what we do here in grime music, especially in the Birmingham music scene, but nationwide. To get a chance to pick your brain, Mikee, and find out about your history.
It's an honor for me to sit here as well, because you're a legend as well, bro. You know, you've been about from when I was early in the team, the Despa Cam and that, you get me? So, you know what I mean? Don't forget yourself. Like, you're a legend. You're a legend as well.
I hear that. It's just good. It's good for me to. I think I've nearly sat down with most of the people that, from when I was coming up in music that I respected and looked to. And there's still a few people I need to tick some boxes off.
Yeah.
But like, I wanted to be able to have conversations with all these people and find out how they got started in music and kind of, you know what I'm saying to you? It's like, I'm a fan of music, and I'm always going to be a fan of the people that I feel paved the way for what a lot of people are doing now. And definitely you're one of the people that's done that. So we're getting a lot of questions in. So I'm gonna get if you wanna ask you a question and you're locked in right now, make sure you use the hashtag #MeetTheArtists and tweet me. And I'm not going to ask any questions that don't have the hashtag, because I'm trying to get the hashtag trending.
Yeah,
so
the hashtag, get me, ask any question you want, and I will tell you as truthfully as I can.
Yeah.
As I said, it doesn't matter who gets upset from facts. Fact is fact. Yeah.
So Mike is going to give you the realness right now. So I want to know, bro, because this is a thing for me, is I used to just listen to the radio and I just used to just hear about DJ Big Mikee, but I don't know how DJ Big Mikee became DJ Big Mikee. So like for the history's sake, how did you and where did you start with your music career as being a DJ?
You know what, I can remember it was 1997. Now, everyone knows the rapper Poverty P. Now, Poverty P is my second youngest brother. Okay, I've got another brother called KG who's also a rapper, but he doesn't take it as serious, but Poverty takes it more serious now. So you've got me as the oldest, then you've got KG, then you've got Poverty P. Now, I had just come home one day from doing what I do, this time like there's no music involved or nothing, and I've just come home and I've seen my brother there. We call him Paddy, so I don't want to keep saying poverty, like it's, we call him Paddy, so it's Poverty P, but his name's Paddy. And I've come home and I've seen these decks in the bedroom, and I'm like, raw, where you get these from? It's like, yeah man, the DJ Rootsies, I borrowed them. I'm like, give me a go. It's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. I says, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but they look like it could be fun.
Yeah.
And I've jumped on them and I'm, trying to mix. It's like, nah, that ain't right, bloody, that don't sound right, you get me? So I was like, nah, you know what, it ain't even for me, man. But he was there like just mixing, he's playing tunes and he's spitting, you get me? There's no one there to mix, so I'm just messing about and bringing in which tune. He's saying, yeah, play that tune, play that tune, play that tune. And even after then, I didn't have any desire to be around the decks as a DJ. It was just there, you know what I mean? I was more interested in shotting, getting out there, girls, getting my, cars, just the normal materialistic stuff. So when I've come home the next day, the decks are still there. So I'm like, all right, then I'm messing about with them. He's come in and he started spraying again, and I'm, you know what I mean? And then DJ Roots was there, whose decks they were. Like, he's come this time, and obviously I'm messing about with him, and the Roots was like, nah, you need to do that, you need to do that, you need to try and match the beats up together. Like, bear in mind, this time we was playing not even jungle, it was like just before jungle, like the really hardcore, all the them sort of, Fantasia sort of, Rat Pack sort of tunes, you get me? So Roots was showing me, and even then, it didn't even click like, yeah, this was, I like being behind the decks. It was just, anytime the decks were there, I'd have a mess about with them. Once they're gone, that was it. I didn't really care. And one day I've come back in and the decks are there. I was like, yeah man, the decks are there again. I started messing about on them. And then all of a sudden, Roots never come for the decks. They're there a week, they're there a month, 6 months. I'm like, what? So obviously every day I'm just trying to get a bit of, it's not even practice, I don't even know what I'm doing. And you know, I'm mixing, my brother's spitting and recording it, and you know, it was mainly to try and get my brother out there. That's the only reason why I was behind the decks, is to get my brother out there. But then I started to enjoy it. It's like, yeah man, this is, I'm not mixing them times because I listen back to them and the mixes are absolutely atrocious. Like, the man is just chopping them in like wobble. But you just come in, wham, no mixing, no pitching, nothing. Man didn't even know what pitch was. Man weren't even touching them. Roots was showing me about pitch and I'm box it in, just for my brother. But obviously over time you start to pick it up, and I was like, you know what, I enjoy this, but it still didn't click that was where I was going to spend the next, you know, 17, 18 years, was behind the decks. It was just a pastime at that time, because in and out all the time, you know, doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing, and it was just like, okay, the decks are there, boom, 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 little mess about, and I'm gone again. And then one day, Roots actually came and took the decks. Like, he took them. It then clicked on me like, there's no decks no more. Like, nah. I'm saying to Paddy, yo, blood, we got no decks, you know, what we're gonna do? Like, let's go over to Roots's. Okay. Roots. Anyone who remembers DJ Roots, you must remember DJ Roots.
I know the name. I don't think I ever met him. But I do remember the name.
Do you remember DJ Rico, who passed away ages ago? Well, Roots and Rico they sort of went together. So you're talking like Roots was playing like Champagne Friday days and that. And we used to go over to Roots and he used to like give a little tuition, you get me? Obviously, I didn't know how to mix then, so it must have been really hard for him. And then I just got fed up of going to people, because Roots lived in Handsworth, I lived in Newtown, so I've got to travel from Handsworth. Like, bear in mind, these times, the postcode thing was popping off, so that was very, very, like, obviously it didn't directly involve myself, because them time I'm still classed as an older, you know what I mean? These mans are young then, but it was very sticky, like, to be going into them postcodes and then going back to your own postcode, and you know, shots are bossing off, and it was, you know, for me it was like, nah, I needed my own set of decks. You get me? So bargain pages, you know how we do, brown paper, bargain pages, look for the cheapest decks I can find. You know what, they were belt drive, I don't even know what name they were, but I'm just working within the budget. I had £150 and I bought 2 belt drive, I can't even remember the person's name who sold me them, 2 belt drive, a mixer, and he threw in the headphones and he gave me 2 records, 2 drum and bass records to go on, you know, mix together, and I was grateful for that. I took them home, I set them up, get me and Paddy were doing the thing, you get me, we just, remember, bear in mind, it didn't come out of our bedroom. It was absolutely atrocious, like the mixing was terrible. So it stayed in the bedroom, but I had my own decks, which for me was it was a sense of achievement then, like, yeah man, I've got my own decks. Okay, so when I moved out my mum's and I moved across the road to Newtown, like Wheeler Street, my mum lived on the other side by the drum, and I was living with my mum. I moved out and I had my own flat, so obviously the first thing that got set up wasn't the decks, and they sat there for 6 months and I didn't touch them because my brother was locked up, you know, Roots was doing his thing, and there was no one to actually say, yeah, boom, come, let's do it. I had no motivation, they were just sitting there. One day, Jaspino come round, I don't know if you remember the name, Jaspino, died from a long time, like we're talking now, this is now 1997, on the back of 98. It's like, what, Mikey got decks? He's just come round to check me as normal. It's like, what, you Mikey got decks? Yeah, come, show me how to use them, blood, cause I know what I'm doing, but I don't. And I'm showing him, he's like, nah, blood, like, you can't mix, you know. And this was what I liked about Jaspino, he would turn around and he would tell me, like, nah, blood, you'd like, blood, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to use the pitch, and he's showing me that the pitch is to speed it up. We was doing it with our hand, but obviously when we're letting it go, it's going back out of time, and he's showing that the pitch is like that. When you speed it up, it will keep it there. So obviously, I practice MCC as well, you know, he showed me about tight mixing. So once I learned how to mix, it was still loose. You could still tell there was 2 tunes there, 2 snares, and he showed me how to get it tight, like, yeah, boom, 1 snare, 1 kick, you get me, hi-hats, and they're the sort of things I was listening for. So I practiced until I said to C, come, let me on radio, blood. It's like, nah, bro, if you're not ready for radio, what are you going to play? I said, oh, I got them 2 tunes. Like, blood, you can't. That's all I had was the 2 records, you get me? It's like, blood, you can't come on radio.
Go radio with the 2 tunes.
2 tunes, boy. It's then I've got the desire for it now.
Yeah,
then
man,
I've got the drive,
still.
and then he's saying, like, you need to buy some records, you need to buy some tunes, you can't just mix the same 2 tunes, because that's what I was doing. I was mixing the same 2 tunes until I could mix them inside out.
Yeah.
So, okay, boom, record shop now. Get me Tempest, the Depot, hard to find, you know, anywhere. And I used to go and buy drum and bass. I actually started as drum and bass. Garage weren't about these times.
It wasn't really, was it?
It was more 4x4, like early Todd Edwards, early 4x4, nice and ripe, them sort of labels there. But I always do the drum and bass. And so I built up the sack, and get me 6 months come from there now. So it's been about a year that I've had the decks now. I'm saying to see, look, I'm ready for radio. Saying, blood, you're not ready for radio. You can't mix properly. You get me? I can't have you on radio because people are going to be phoning up saying, oh, who's this? You have to practice, you have to do that. So, you know, he showed me and he gave me some motivation. And I went and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. I bought tunes. I was sending him, you know, remember, like, this is my best friend, you know. So, it weren't even a bringing thing. You get me? Like, he's my best friend, obviously, the angle was there to get in, but I wasn't good enough. And I was thinking, nah, man, why is he bad-minding me, man? Like, bring me in, man, you get me? But the real fact of it, I weren't good enough, but I just weren't ready to take that sort of, what would you say? I was looking at it as negative.
Like the feedback, you couldn't take the constructive kind of feedback.
I weren't taking it constructively. I was being really arrogant, you know, and I can sit down now and say that at that time, I was arrogant because as my friend, he's telling me you're not good enough, people laugh at you, you can't mix, you can't select, you get me? And I worked on that, I sat down and worked on that with his help, with Jaspino's help, with my brother's help, with Roots' help, and I worked on it, and I used to spend sometimes 8-9 hours a day on the deck. Just mixing. I don't even know that long has passed. I'm just mixing. I just get up in the day and I'm just thinking, yeah, my goal is radio. I'm gonna get on radio. You get me? I'm telling my friends, Ezzy, them man, they're young. I'm gonna get on radio, you know. My man thought I was joking. Boom. One time, C come round now, and I'm sure I'm saying, look, come and look at my record collection. These times, man are shotting, so man are spending peas. You get me? I'm going into the record shop and spending £300-400 a time, and buying tunes that I liked, drum and bass. Every now and again, I'd hear like a one garage tune, and I'm thinking, you know what? I like that, you know. Give me that. And I built up a little sack. So I brought C round, I've started showing him like, look, I can mix now. I still wasn't good enough, but I was at a half decent level where I could probably work with. But the tune selection I had for drum and bass was banging. You get me? So he's like, all right, I'm gonna bring you on radio now. Radio Saturday. So I'm like, yeah. Going on radio, you know, you get me? He's like, it's only a one-off, you know. I'm like, oh. So I'm thinking, all right, I gotta impress now.
Yeah.
Boom, Thursday now. I used to play National League basketball them times, and I went up for a dunk and I got pushed and I landed. When I come down, I landed like that. So I landed on my hand and it went all the way back. You get me? So I had to go to hospital that Thursday. But I was like, I'm going radio Saturday. You get me? My arm needs to be better. They put it in a plaster and my arm was like that. I went to radio with my arm, my first show, in a plaster.
And what, you mixed?
And I mixed, you get me, if that's what you want to call it, you get me. But I had tune, you get me. The mixing weren't there, but I had tune. So I'm just whacking them in, you get me, whacking them in. We'll go home, we'll go to C's or home and we'll listen to it straight after the show. You know, all those who remember 1998. C said it's 1999. I'm telling you it's 1998. He's just the MC. You get me? I know the date. That was a very special moment for me. You get me? 1998. It's about April times 1998. And so he's like saying, "Now, can I come back on next week?" It's like, yeah, if you practice. So yeah, I'm gonna practice, and you know, I practice. I'll come back on next week. You can hear the little improvement every week, and I started to improve. So when my plaster Paris come off, whoop, that was it. I felt like I was free. I had two hands. I went home, I mixed. I'm saying, yeah, this Saturday, shutting it down, you get me? the Saturday come, you know, me and Jasper, you know, we done the thing, man. You know, we shut it down, and that was when like C and Gummy were saying, yeah, man, we want you to be part of the Bashment crew. So anyone who remembers the Bashment crew, it was Saturday morning, 10 till 12, drum and bass, and then man shelling for near enough 2 hours. You get me? So that was the start for me. Like, yeah, I'm on Silk City now. You know what I mean? I'm a drum and bass DJ, so I'm doing my drum and bass, but it weren't enough for me. I'm listening to man playing at 6 till 8. I'm even in the studio, sitting down, watching phone line pop, and I'm like, nah, I want some of that. Phone line's popping, but it's popping at 10 in the morning. I want some of this 6 till 8 and 10 till 12 stuff. You get me? So I started to buy garage. I started to listen. You know, one of the people that I used to listen to is Nitrate, be83, Caprice Royal, DJ Everton, you know, them, you know, Roots as well, you know, and I used to buy them sort of tunes that I liked, that were bossing up the place, you know what I mean, Champagne Friday, until now I've got a drum and bass collection, and now I've got a garage collection. You get me? Loads of Todd Edwards and loads of, you know, Wide Boys, stuff like that, all the really early stuff. And I had a show 8 till 10 on a Sunday morning, like 8 till 10, you know. So that means I've got to leave out of my house at like 7:15 to get to radio for 8. And the only reason I had that slot is because that was the only slot available. Nobody wanted.
I mean, that's a lot of people would be like, no, I'm not doing no 8 till 10, but it shows that you wanted it though.
Yeah, it was, you know, for me, it was a foot in the door, and I'd done that 8 till 12, that 8 till 10 slot for at least 6 months, but I wanted more. 8 till 10 too early, way too early. People are still sleeping on Sunday. So Jester used to do 10 till 12, but sometimes he couldn't turn up. So when I used to get the call, like, Mikey, can you cover for me? Yeah, man, cover. You get me? People will hear me now, because now I'm playing in Jester's spot, and I'll just say it's just a cover. So what happens now is when people couldn't make it,
you were just doing the cover slot.
I was the cover DJ.
Yeah.
You get me? Boom. Like, I'm just looking at my phone like, please, Deep, phone me. Deep never phoned me. He had the slot I wanted, 10 till 12 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
He'd never phone me. You get me? And I'd just come there and sit down, and then one day, boom, I got the phone call off Deep. It's like, Mikey, I can't make it, you know.
Sick.
Can you come and do my show for me? It's like, yeah, man. And I'd done it, and I had that feeling of prime time slot, phone line popping, people who I know like, I didn't know you was a DJ record. I was on the station for ages, but I'm doing the early slots. They didn't know, and I'd done one slot of Deeps, you know. Even Deep phoned me like, yeah, man, I like how you're going on. Obviously now, these times I now can mix. Not as good as the rest of the man on the station, but I can still mix. And obviously from there, I just had the inspiration to buy more tunes. Now I'm buying more garage, but obviously I'm still buying drum and bass, because I'm still doing the Bashment show. So my drum and bass sack's getting big. The garage sack's billing as well. You get me? So now I'm covering for a lot of people. Because when people can't make it, Nitrate can't make it, phone Mikey, safe. Everton can't make it, phone Mikey. I'm always available because I wanted it. So within a couple of months, or even probably say 6 months to a year, I've probably done every single time slot on that station, and I know what time slot I wanted. You get me? 10 till 12 on a Saturday, that was the time slot that I wanted. It fitted in perfect with what I was doing, everything. And you know, Deep used to phone every now and again, and then it got more regular. He couldn't make it, he's doing this, he's playing there, he's booked there, he's booked there. So I'm doing a lot of 10 till 12. You know, I've done a few back-to-backs with Deep. Badness used to be on Deep set as well. Badness, Vader, Six Emps, you get me? So we're going back like 1999, 2000.
Them 6 Emps days were crazy, you know. The way them two used to bounce off each other was crazy.
Yeah, man, it was nuts, man. But when Deep couldn't make it, I was the DJ, and them mans would come and get me, and we'd do this slot, and it was amazing. Like, that's the only thing that I could describe it as, was amazing. I was in the slot that I want. But obviously, I wanted that slot now, but Deep's my brethren, you get me? So I was sort of content with just doing it here and there, doing it here and there. Okay, the Sunday now, I got I got extended from 8 till 12 instead of 8 till 10, and then moved Jester to a more prime time slot, which I think was 4 till 6. Because that's what happened. If you weren't performing as a DJ, you get me, and you was up there, you would get relegated. It still happens now on Silk. If you're not performing, you will lose your slot to a slot that you don't want, and whoever's performing
it gets moved up.
will still be in your slot.
And that
ethos has been there since the start of Silk City, and it's still running up till now. You know what I mean? So obviously for me, it's all about being on top of my game so I can keep my slot. And that's how it had been from then, from back in the day. It's always like, yeah, we respect the other DJs that are on the station, but at the same time, you're still competition. If I flip up, you probably watching my spot. You get me? So as soon as like Deep decided that he's not going to do it no more, and you know, there was, you know, life, and he weren't even from Birmingham, he was travelling from London every week. Deep was travelling from London every week to come down here and do his show. You get me? Obviously, you know, that will take its toll at some time. And as that slot came vacant, I just jumped into it. I sort of sneakily jumped into it. I didn't even ask for the slot. I was just, Deep can't, yo, you come to your show, Deep? Nah, can I cover it? Yeah, boom, until I'm in there.
You just stay
until I'm in there every week, you get me? Until like the manager's like, yo, what you saying, you on that slot? Like, of course, bro. See, once he gave me that slot, that was it. The only reason that slot changed is because I wanted it to change. And I changed it from a Saturday to a Sunday because now I'm getting bookings, and the bookings are on Saturdays. You get me? So I'm now phoning somebody else to come and cover my show, because if you don't leave your show covered, that is like, you can get booted off for that, or you lose your slot. So I'm asking man to cover my show. So I said to management, can I have, you know, 10 till 12 on a Sunday? You get me? He's like, oh, if the person on Sunday will swap with you, then which the person did. You know what I mean? He swapped with me, and I had the Sunday slot, and I've had that Sunday slot for donkeys. Obviously, once Silk City teamed up with Aston FM to form Big City Radio, which was when we was in Star City. That was when I done 12 till 2 because of the radio editing and the sort of things that I wanted to do on the show. The clashes, the not making the MCs cut out the swear words, not editing the tunes. That's why I had 12 till 2, because I didn't want to do that. I wanted it raw. You get me? Because when you cut out the swear word, it sort of has an effect on the tune. It makes it sound different rather than when it's in there. So I wanted to keep it raw, and that was the reason why I had that slot. But obviously now, you know, I'm back in my 10 till 12.
Just listening to that, the story of how you got started, it's like, it's great to hear about how much you wanted it and how much you went through it. And as for people that might be watching or watch this back, like, you have to really, if you need something, if you want something, you've got to work for it and go and get it. There's no getting away from the groundwork. You know that, Despa. You get me? You're a man who's you've done bare groundwork to get where you are now. You get me? There's no running away from it. Like, I actually now embrace the groundwork. I think it's brilliant for networking, for getting, you know, a lot of links and obviously motivational drive and that. You get me? So all those aspiring to do whatever, the MCs, do your groundwork, man. It's part of your history, man. It's true. Like, I feel like, because nowadays things are kind of really accessible. Like, you know, if you want to get a song out and you can't get it on one of the bigger channels, you can always just upload it to your own channel, or you can just do whatever, or you can get your tune around. So it's like, or you can tweet it to people. So I feel like things are a bit more accessible than they used to be. So I think that kind of takes away from the drive of some people and really having to work for certain things and positions.
Yeah, you know, because when back in the days, it was, you know, when I was on Silk in the early days, there was no such thing as YouTube. It was,
you weren't on radio, you weren't heard, that was it.
I don't think the internet was there at that time. There was no such thing as the internet.
It was not for what we're using it for now.
It was dial-up. It was dial-up, man. You know what I mean? It would take a million years to load. But, you know, them times, like, you actually had to go out there. You had to be on the street. You want your CD selling, you better put that in the back of your car and go on the road and sell it, because there's no YouTube, no advertising, none of this. Like, you know, I think when Deadly and Genie clashed, if you look at the quality of that, it's absolutely minimal. Because man are filming it off a camera that ain't even got as much pixels as a phone. You know what I mean? And they were the first sort of cameras that was around that. And even then, you know what I mean, the picture quality and that weren't that good. You know, the programs that come out to edit it weren't that good. You know what I mean? So, you know, obviously we had to work with what we had. If the internet was about them times, boy, it would have been different.
Yeah, it would have been a lot different, because there's so many things. It's like there's like a dark period of like Birmingham's grime history, because there wasn't the internet, all these things that went on. it's like people don't know that they happen, which is why I like doing these things and talking about them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? People think that, oh, Birmingham's only had a grime history the last few years.
Since like 2009 and stuff like that. It's not the case.
Birmingham's history has been there as when I mean the history between London and Birmingham, I'm talking about is no longer than a year, 6 months. You get me? A year, 6 months, because when I was in London shopping for garage, that was when I heard, I think it was Pay As You Go. I'm not sure if it was a full Pay As You Go, but I remember Slimzy and Wiley. You get me? And I went to the record shop looking for garage, but when I heard what I was hearing on the radio, I actually recorded it, because one of the things I used to do regular was bring a little tape deck with me when I went to London.
Okay.
And I used to listen to certain stations, Axe FM, Deja Vu. There was another drum and bass station, Cool FM, but there was another one. And I remember taping DJ Red Ant and Fearless. You know what I mean? And that's what I used to do. I used to come down to London when I went to visit the family, or I'll come to buy tunes. I'll come with my little tape cassette, you get me, full of batteries and everything, and a load of blanks. And as I touch into London, I'm finding a station and boom, record. You get me? And I'll do what I do, and I'll come back to Birmingham like, yo, look, listen to this. This is the fire. You get me? You see, when I came back with the Pay As You Go thing, and I'm showing man are like, Bumbleclaw, like Slimzy's flinging down rhythm.
Slimzy
you get
was
me?
And is what was at the time the father.
The father,
like,
trust me,
seriously,
the father. He was
flinging
flinging down.
Were crazy, man.
He was flinging down rhythms now. These time I'm playing drum and bass. I'm playing garage as well. But when I heard grime, that's when it touched me, and that's when I realised that that's the music for me. Now these times, it weren't called grime. Don't get it twisted. I always, and I'll stick by this, that grime was invented in 2003, but it was about before that. We didn't know what to call it or what category to put it in. I used to call it Beeline. A man used to say, oh, you know, I had the Harmony bookings and that, and the casino bookings and stuff. Oh, what are you playing? You know what? I'm gonna play for the gal them today. You know, I'm keeping it vocally. Todd Edwards and rare. It's like, nah, in here's full of man. You know, I'm playing Beeline. This time it was grime, but we didn't know what to call it, so we just call it Beeline because it was just and you know, the MCs could get, you know, the MCs could shell. Them times the MCs weren't spitting 16s and 32s. They'd spit like an 8 and come in and out of the vocal. You get me? But when I'm playing, the MCs are working like, raw, what's this? What's this? What's this? Certain MCs didn't like coming on my set, not because I weren't good, because I played too much squamps and there was not enough bars. You get me? Because the MCs are used to coming out of
the vocals,
the garage. You get me? Them, you know, the garage tunes they used to sing, and there used to be a little, you know, like battle. Where it would sing and then it would just have that boom, boom, boom.
You can spit on that.
You know, an MC will get busy there, and then the vocal will come in and the MC will come out. You get me? And that's what, that was what was called a shutdown them times. You get me? Like, it's different now, because 8 bars ain't gonna get you nowhere now. But them days, you had 8 bars them days, you're live.
Yeah, you could do a madness with 8 bars.
You could do a lot, yeah. So, and that was why only certain MCs at that time, remember, we're still in like 2001. Only certain MCs like Badness, like Vader, will jump on my set. Hitman as well, you get me? He's been about for long. Daps on the map, Tazzle. But there's enough man who have, you know, I don't want to forget anyone, but there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, pressure's been around.
The man have been around for
Deadly,
10 years. Deadly, Mayhem. Let me leave Deadly and Mayhem until later.
Yeah, we do that.
Deadly, Mayhem, Swifter, I'm going to leave them till later, and Hitman, because they play a pivotal part in Big Mike's career. If you take Deadly, Mayhem, Swifter, Hitman, Predator, it'll come to me with the interview, but if you took them out of my history, there'd be no DJ Big Mikee. Okay. So let me leave them to the side.
Okay, we'll get to some questions in a second. Actually, let's get to some questions now, because there are a lot of questions. And I know people have been sat down listening to this great talk we've been having.
But you know what? When you've got 17 years of history behind you,
there's a lot to talk about, man.
It's hard to try and miss anything out.
A lot's gone on. Like, a lot has gone on. This is why I was so excited to do this interview. So let me get into this. Okay. Because like I need to scroll down.
Oh, somebody's just asked the question that I was just explaining.
Well, let's get to AK NFS Scum Fam.
We got the Sheffield Massive then.
Asks, what's your best personal clash from all of the prize fighter clashes?
Ooh, yeah. You know what? There's a couple, you know. There's not just one, there's a couple. But these are the ones that stood out for me. Cannon versus Browns, that stood out for me. Chucky versus Floors, that was just a madness. The one that happened Sunday, Floors versus G-Dot, and the 4-man
How
rumble.
did that go? Because I saw the build up to that on Twitter, and how did it go, bro?
Floors won.
Did it? Because he was giving
won,
it the big one.
It was very, very tense.
Yeah.
It was very tense. Hopefully the video will come out tomorrow. It was very tense. I was just hoping that no man was going to swing a blow.
Yeah, because they did a lot of talking on Twitter.
There was a lot of violation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you haven't heard that clash, it's on my SoundCloud now. You know what I mean? But yeah, as you say, Browns and Cannon, Chucky and Floors and G-Dot. There's some other clashes as well, like J Mons and Rema, which was one of the first prize fighter clashes. The first, you know, that stood out for me. I Am One versus Nitro Clack, that stood out for me as well. I was saying there's loads of favourites, but for me, it has to be Cannon and Browns, Chucky and Floors and G-Dot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So big up Floors.
Big up AK, man. Big up all the Sheffield Massive, Tez Kid, Cannon. Yeah.
Dr. Greenspoon, Dr_Greenspoon_ says, would like to see Jammer bring back Lord of the Decks. And would you clash if it was?
Of course, man.
You clash?
Star. This is I won another clash. This is like, for me,
You clashed Logan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
and you know
that's
what?
like legend of
that's,
versus
you know,
legend. Like there's no other two people that could do that.
You know what I mean? Like, Logan, my brethren, you get me now. I couldn't think of another DJ at that time that was eligible to meet up.
Yeah,
it was inevitable that me and Logan was gonna meet. Obviously, we both had mutual respect for each other, and we was both dodging each other. You get me? Because I knew what was in Logan. I knew what's in Logan's sack.
Yeah.
You get me? Logan half knew what was in mine.
Yeah.
You get me? But obviously Logan's done more dub plates. He's done more dub plate sets than me, and obviously he plays out a lot more than me. So it was easier for me to listen. Obviously I follow Logan's career because I rate him as a DJ, so I've always followed Logan, and I know what sort of dubs he's packing. And I just thought at the time, like, I could match him. You know what I mean? Like, I knew he had like the Vibes Cartel. I knew he had a couple of yard dubs, but I had yard dubs as well. So, you know, I thought at that time that Jammer put it together, it was the right time.
Yeah.
The right time. It was the right two people. It was, you know, me and Logan, we collect dub plates. How man collect stamps and how man collect trainers. We cut dubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, when I seen it on the flyer, obviously Jam, you know, we spoke about it. Jam was saying like, yeah man, you and Logan should, you get me? It's like, yeah, you know what, I respect Logan, you know, I'll clash Logan. Cause I'm not just gonna clash any and anyone. I will clash, I'll clash now, but you need to bring a legend to me. I'm not gonna come and do 17 years of this thing to come and clash somebody who's only been in it a year.
Yeah, it's true.
You get me? Big up all the DJs them who are buying dubs and that. And obviously, if you're one of the up and coming DJs who think, yeah, Big Mike is on the list, then you get me, go through and build up yourself. And when you become a legend, I'll clash you. But at the moment, it don't make sense me clashing anybody bar legends. You get me? So we're talking Logan, I'll clash Logan. Logan's a legend, you get me? I'll clash Mac 10. Although I think Mac 10 should have been doing more work, and you know, I think Mac 10 was needed more in the scene. Yeah. You get me? But you can't take the fact away that he's still a legend. You get me? But I'll still spin Mac 10. You get me? I'll spin Mac 10. So Mac 10, if you're watching and you're listening, I'm waiting for you. You get me? Spiral.
I heard it here first. I was thinking about Spiral.
I'll definitely clash Spiral.
Yeah.
I know Spiral's got dubs, and I know Spiral's building up his sack. You get me? So Spiral is a legend. I know about Spiral from when I was in London with Terror Danger, like we're talking 2005, 2004, them times. So Spiral's a legend. I'll clash Spiral. I'll definitely clash Maximum. I'll rate Maximum. I like Maximum. And I'll definitely clash Spooky.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna clash anybody that I do not rate or respect. I'd clash Cameo because I rate Cameo, I respect Cameo. I have to big up Cameo, the first person out of Midlands to ever bring me on legal radio station. You get me? So when I'm saying that, yeah, I'll clash these mans, it don't mean that I'll clash them because I want to be big. I'm already big, you get me? I'll clash them out of respect to say that, yeah, you know what, let me put my skills up against theirs.
Yeah.
And that's all it is that, you get me? I need proper competition, legendary competition. Bring me legendary competition and Big Mikey will clash. You hear me, Jammer? Bring me a legend. Dubplate Mex, he's a legend as well. You get me? I'll clash Dubplate Mex. Them names that I've mentioned, I'll clash them. You get me? If there's any other names that I've forgotten, can you think of anyone?
Nah, but the people I was thinking of were Spyro, Spooky, those kind of people there. Those are the names that I would put against.
They're legends. Bring me a legend and I will clash a legend. Don't be bringing me like a normal guy that's just you get me, like that's looking a hype, or I'm not even gonna like entertain that because I've been here 17 years, and I personally think that I've done a lot for the scene. Which is one I want to ask you. When you talk about dubs, you talk about cutting dubs. Now there's a thing, if people don't know, there are people DJing. I think Nole said that you gave her first piece of like music. You know what? When Nole said that, I was shocked. You know.
Did you not remember it, or was it, or did you just shocked that she said it?
I remember. I could never forget that day that I met Nole because I think I was even cheeky that time. You know, I'll tell you the story about how I met Nole, but when I heard her say that I was the first person to ever pay her for dubs, it shocked me. Yeah. Because I thought, being such a sick artist and being a female, that other DJs would have jumped on it and got dubs off her. You get me? Because there was other DJs that was playing, you know, at the time when she was about that. That was when grime was like popping everywhere. You get me? I thought a lot of people would have approached her. Now, I was on 1Xtra. I can't remember why I was there, but I was there.
But this was like, was it like 04, one of these years?
Yeah, 03, 04, something like that. But Crazy Titch was there as well.
Because they had a lot of grind weekenders as well.
Yeah.
We had to go down to one of them before.
I'm not sure why I was there, but I was there in 1Xtra. Now, I'm not going to go to 1Xtra to sit down and watch anybody else do anything. You get me? That's pointless. I'm a DJ. If I'm going to 1Xtra, I'm going anywhere. I'm playing. You get me? There's only once that I've been to 1Xtra and haven't done anything, and that was when I went with C4. Yeah. Because I went to support C4, and that was the reason. C4's my brethren, so I took him down there. But usually I'll be down there, I'm playing. I remember that something happened with Crazy Titch and Nole. They were arguing in there, and they come outside, and it was an argument. Like, bear in mind, I know Titch then, but I was like, you know what? This nothing to do with me. I'm not getting involved. Man are arguing. Nole's walking off now, and I'm saying, rah, you know what? If Nole walks off, I ain't never gonna get the link with her. Yeah. Regardless of whether I need to make a decision now. Do I bowl up in this argument, and Nole will turn around to me and say, oh, who the hell are you, F off, or do I try and like wait till she goes and try and, you know, link some, you know, try and find somebody who knows her. But I've been trying to find Nole for ages. I've been hearing the music, but to see her in the flesh live, I'm like, nah, you know what? I don't even know when I'm gonna see Nole again, you know. Forget this. I want my dub plate, and I walked right into the middle of the Crazy Titch. I walked right into the middle of the Crazy Titch and Nole argument and says, can I have a dub plate, please? Raggo. And then, you know, I thought she was just gonna turn around and say, you know what? And to be fair, if that had happened, I wouldn't have been in any worse a position. Yeah. But she was like, nah, you know what, I'm on that, you know, give me your number, but you get me. So we've passed numbers and that. Obviously, I'm gassed now. I've got Nole's number. Like, driving like, yo, Dad, have you got Nole's number? No, I have. You get me? So man, I'm mocking the thing and that. You get me on the phone there, and I says, yeah, man, you get me. What you saying about some dub plates? She's like, yeah, man, I'm on it. I can do it, this. Can you come and meet me here, there? Like, I'm not telling her that, well, I've got to come from Birmingham and making excuses. Nah, she said meet her here at this time. I'm meeting her. I don't care what was going on. And when she phoned and says, yo, I got your dubs, I came down and she gave me the CDs and I gave her £300. I'm sure she gave me 3 dubs. Remember, she didn't know me. You get me? So she didn't have to do it.
And did you even discuss a price with her beforehand, or you just?
Nah, you know what? She said she's done 3 dub plates. So at the time, I'm thinking, okay, then I'm playing like certain people who are good, I'm paying a £1.
Yeah.
Normal dubs are costing like £50-60. So I thought she was sick. So I'm like, okay. Hope she don't charge me more than a £1 for dub, you know. So I've just put 3 bills, you get me? And I've just, you know, obviously I'm down there, I said, yeah, I've got £300. She's like, yeah, that's cool. And she said, yeah, that's cool. I was like, live. I met her. Obviously, give her the £300, she give me the CDs. Obviously, we've established the link now. And I'm gone, and obviously I'm listening, I'm driving back and I'm listening to the dubs, and I'm like, no way, I'm gassed, I got a no-lay. As a matter of fact, I got 3 no-lay dubs. Cause any of the artists who knows me know that I don't just buy 1 dub. It's not that. Like, I grew up in the Soundman era. Half my family deal, you know, my uncle's Bossy Peter, who's the owner of Now Generation. I went to school with Tyrone Melody, Immortal. I was around Young Romantic Bubbler, Young Stone Love, Young Generations are all my younger cousin. And when man are buying dubs, they're buying 2 and 3 dubs. Man, I didn't know man to buy 1 dub, you get me? And it's cheaper when you buy more than 1 dub. A man can charge you 152 bills a dub, but you buy 2 dubs, you might get it for 3 bill. You might get it for 250. So there's a little, you know, there's a saving there. So, you know, man, you know, we used to spend a lot of money on dubs, man.
I know, cause I know you too. This is why I'm getting onto the point. Like, you know, you've done a lot for the scene. I know you put a lot of money into a lot of artists' pockets and buying dubs and doing things in the proper way as you should be, and making sure you can facilitate people going out and doing the music to help you as a DJ, you know, continue to do what you were doing.
I know, I love buying dubs, man. Like, dubs is exclusive, you know. A normal tune you can play, and then once the buzz dies down, that's it, the tune, you know, it's gone. But a dub plate, doesn't matter, like, if it's got your name and it's cut properly and it's a decent tune, will play forever. Forever. You listen to the sound, man, they're still playing dub plates from Kilimanjaro, still playing Bob Marley dub plates, and they're still bossing dance. Because it's exclusive. Like, it shows that you've gone out your way directly to link the artist, because that's the only way you're gonna get a dub, is directly from the artist. You ain't getting a dub no other way, because that artist has to do the dub for you. Now, my Skepta dub, it was Jammer that got that for me. You get me? Jammer got me the Skepta dub. So obviously he spoke to Skepta and said, yeah man, this is, you know, it's Big Mike, my boy, and rare. And, you know, when Jammer gave me the dub, like, I wanted to faint, man. Like, I don't even think he charged me for it, you know? I swear down, I don't think Skepta charged me for that dub. And if he did, it was only a change. And when I mean a change, I mean like 30, 40 pound, you get me? So, you know, I have to big up Jammer for that, you know what I mean? Like, I still find it hard to get another Skepta dub now, but if it's probably going to get even more difficult as well. If I find it hard and I'm Big Mikee, I know that there, you know, anyone who's like not as known as me will find it extremely hard. You get me? Whereas, like, obviously Logan and Spyro will probably be able to get Skepta dubs all day, because obviously they're around him in that circle. But it's the same as me getting like a JK dub all day. It's just a phone call, come studio, I need to bury a boy. You get me? And he'll come to the studio and he'll do a dub for me.
Yeah, man. That's being a DJ, like, you know, in the grime, you know, soundboy vibes.
It answers anyone's question. I am definitely on clashing, but I'm only gonna clash a legend. It don't make no sense me clashing anybody else. You get me? So bring me a legend and I'll rep.
Well, again, if you're locked in, you're watching Meet the Artist, make sure you tweet a question to me at Despa Stay Fresh using the hashtag Meet the Artist, and you can get a question to DJ Big Mikee. We're having a really great conversation, but we want to make sure we hear from you guys as well.
Yeah, man, trust me, man.
So I've got a question from Blades GRM, who's asking hardest youngers in London and up north, and your views on local support of local MCs, e.g. South people supporting South MCs, and I'm guessing kind of like people supporting each other. So the hardest working youngers, basically. All
right, for me, as we say, just bear in mind now that this is my opinion. This is not facts, this is my opinion, because another person may like a different MC. This is my opinion. Cadell, Novelist, Mike Ty, Izzy Gibbs. Now, Izzy Gibbs is from Northampton, so I don't know whether is Midlands or whatever.
Is Northampton's like West Midlands still?
Yeah,
like on the edge.
Far, bro.
I know, but they still supposedly they still class it as West Midlands. Like,
yeah, but you know, slide Izzy Gibbs into that category as well now. Axe is sick, but I'm not sure if Axe is a younger. He looks very young, and I remember him being about from early, but he's sick, so I'm not sure whether to put him in the youngest category or the adults category. I'm not sure if Axe is over the 21 or below. I'm not sure, but if Axe is 21 and under, he's definitely in there, definitely. If he's 21 and over, I'll still rate him. You know, you've got Cannon as well. Cannon's sick. You know, I remember, I think it was K that said, yo, put this brother on Prize Fighter. I'm like, who is this? Like, Cannon. It's all right, let me listen. And I heard the freestyle. I was like, you know what, he's okay, you know. Get me, he's okay. But when I brought him onto Prize Fighter, it's like, he's just walked through his clashes. You get me? I think the hardest one he had was Browns. And obviously, Farky gave him a battle as well. You get me? But Cannon is like, it was just something special. You know, when there's just something special, you know, the aggression, you know, and Rival was saying like, yeah, man, I like him. You get me? I'm feeling Cannon, man. Cannon, tough, you know, he's one for the future. Look out for Cannon on the Prize Fighter DVD. Cannon versus Izzy Gibbs. Already clash done and dusted. Fire, trust me, fire.
Villas Wright asks, well, he says, first of all, you're Mikey, a massive fan, mate, been following you since I can remember. And then he also says, off the top of his head, what's your favourite Crips? What are your favourite Crips?
Has to be Nike.
Yeah.
I'm a Nike man. Like, I've got a bag of Crips and 98% of them are Nike. I got one or two Adidas.
What is it you prefer about the Nike over Adidas?
You know what it is now? Adidas are live here, but you see Nike, for some reason here, when I slide my foot into a pair of Nike, don't feel like I'm got a pair of trainers on. I'm just, you get me, it's natural. When I've got Adidas trainers on, I know I've got trainers on because they don't feel the same. But for me, it's always, I grew up on Nike. You get me? Adidas was there, but Nike's my favorite. Adidas is still big, but it's Nike. They're the only two trainers, name trainers that I've got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I must have at least, 30, you know, I'd say about 30, 40 pairs of trainers, and a couple of them are Adidas, and the rest of them are all Nike. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up with, Nike, man. So I'm a Nike, you know, Air Max 110s. You get me? I'm not into them buffer Nike, like. It's like, you know, the buffer Nike with no air bubble, and you only see like certain people running in them. You get me? Like, I'm not into them sort of Nikes. Like, it has to be Air Max 110, the ghetto trainers, the hood trainers. That's what I call them, man. You know what I mean? I'm a Nike person, man.
Big up at Little Mars 3. Little Mars 3 asks, how can I progress as a young MC in Brum and not being known? This is a good question for a DJ like Big Mikey. You know what?
All right. See, I'm a DJ, so I don't know how an MC would progress, but I would say the first thing you have to do is obviously you need to get yourself out there. You need to be heard. So you need to be hollering channels and getting on there and getting out there. Obviously, that's the first thing. If you want people to hear you, is to get out there. So you'll start by, you know, you'll spray and do a little freestyle. You get me? But I think making music is important. You know, you can't call yourself an artist if you've got no music. If you've just got a couple of freestyles on YouTube, you're an up and coming MC. You get me? When you start making music and you've got music, when you talk about I'm going to get out there, that's the first thing that anyone's going to ask you. You get me? You approach Logan or Cameo or any of these man and say, I'm an up and coming MC. The first thing they're going to say is send me some music. But that's what man want to hear. Man want to hear your product, your music. So I would say, obviously, my approach to it would be start from the bottom, do the freestyles and that on you know, start your own channel if you have to. But I'd just go to a channel that's already recognized. Pay if you have to. You get me? If if you're confident, invest in yourself. Why not? Pay, do a little freestyle, you know, get out there so people can hear your name, and then start making some music. Or, to be fair, if you're gonna come and say, yeah, I'm gonna get on radio, I can't bring somebody on radio who ain't been putting in work. This is what Prize Fighter was originally built for people who have only got one vid, for people who I've got no music out there for people who need just something extra to get them out there. Prize Fighter was all about working with grassroots. You get me? So you're talking about the up and coming MCs. You know what I mean? I say apart from Prize Fighter, if you're not actually putting in some sort of work and got some music out that I'm playing, it's going to be very hard to get a set on my show, because I can bring you for Prize Fighter because it's grassroots, but I can't bring you as a special guest on. That's what it is, it's a special guest, so you've got to be putting in some work, you've got to be getting out there, getting tunes that man are playing, then you can come on as a guest. You get me? You've got to be putting some form of work. So I'm saying, like, for all the young MCs, do your groundwork. Obviously, you start from the bottom. You get me? You're doing your freestyles. Behind the scenes, you're in the studio. You get me? Strapping your tunes. You're getting out there. You're connecting. You know, I'm not an MC, so I can't really give an MC advice on how to get out there. You get me? I'm just saying sort of what I think. It'd be more better if they asked an MC what their path was. Obviously, if you can latch onto somebody who can move you forward, then do that. You know, find people who you can work with. Obviously, you got to start in your hood and in your circle, and then from there you come out and expand. Cause you know, that's where I started in my circle. Even now, I'm still in my circle. You get me? Working with like a lot of the grassroots and that, but that's where you start. You start local. You build up your fan base in your little local area, and then you expand. Then you build up your fan base in that area, and then you expand and you expand. You just try and build up fans wherever you go, and that's what it's about, building fans, because they're the one who are going to buy your music when it's out. Other artists are not going to buy your music. You get me? Fans buy your music. People who are, you know, people who normal non-music people. A music person, like, you don't need to buy my EP, because you can phone me and say, "Yo, Mikey, I want that EP," and I'll just give it because we're in the circle. You get me? For a fan, they can't just pick up the phone and say, "Yeah," you get me? Like, and that's I think that is important, is building up fans. You get me? Very important.
It's like, you see, I see a lot of artists, they'll like tweet other artists their music rather than speaking to the fans that follow them. Like, and it's like, you need to I feel like you need to communicate with your fan base.
Of course you do,
make
man.
sure
like,
you can get them involved rather than, I know what you mean, why they're trying to treat other artists to kind of help get the promo to other people.
You know what I mean? But
it's like they put more effort in doing
what you have to understand is, another artist is competition. I'm a DJ, you're a DJ, you get me? We may be brethren, but we're still competing to be the best. You know what I mean? So for me, tweeting other artists my music is not an option. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, and if you check my Twitter, I've never done that. I just tweet it, and it's just there for whoever wants to retweet it. If an artist wants to retweet it, by all means, I'll embrace it. I swear down, if artists tweet me, I'll retweet it, because me not retweeting it, like, it's not going to change whatever, you know what I mean? It's not going to hurt the artist by me not retweeting it, but by me retweeting it will make more people see it, so it will get, you know, the artist will gain. So I haven't got a problem retweeting other people's stuff, but other people are different. They don't want to retweet the stuff because, this person's following and see that they're going to retweet it, and it may not be as good as they want it to be. Too much people are bothered about what other people want to say about them. It's not about that, man. You shouldn't really care I don't care what another artist say about me. I don't care. I don't business. What I business about is the fans and the people who support me. They're the ones that matter. You know what I mean? We can't forget that. Without the fans, without the public, us as artists are nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people forget that. A lot of people won't even retweet what a fan. Yeah. And I don't understand why, but every man to their own. You get me? Now, I know enough man are busy. You get me? Enough man are busy, and you know, if your Twitter's popping and you're getting certain amount of mentions, you can't tweet back everybody.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time just being.
But at least just I just say to artists, it's just good to just let the fans who are going out and spending their hard working money on your music, just let them know that you appreciate them. That's it. You know, it's not a lot to ask. Just a tweet, you know. Big up all my fans. I appreciate, you know, what you do for me.
You have to do that. If the fans weren't supporting you and talking to people, you wouldn't be anybody.
Trust me, it's as simple as that. For me, the fans matter the most, more than, you know, obviously as other artists, we're there to, you know, to hopefully can push the scene together. You get me? But the fans are the ones that matter. They matter more than the music itself, the fans, because they're the ones that making us artists. You get me? So, you know, big up all the fans, man. Serious, man. You're important. Like, without yous, we're nothing.
At Mid's music scene, Midland's music on the music.
Midland's music scene. They got my sponsor. You don't know.
Asks, what's your all-time favorite tune and artist and why?
Ooh, you know what?
That's a big question.
You know what?
And why?
Okay. My all-time favorite grime tune is DTI by Skepta.
Ooh.
There ain't no grime tune better than that out there right now.
DTI.
For me, and when I mean DTI, the original Skippy one. Duh, 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 duh. You know the one with the kaka.
I remember hearing that. I'm just thinking like, yo, what
the black
is
case
this?
with the dice. I remember when I first heard that, man, I was going nuts. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that was like a level up at the time.
These
like
times Skepta wasn't spitting. These times Skepta wasn't spitting. Skepta was a DJ these times. When I heard that tune still touches me now. That Skepta DTI tune, it's amazing. Like that's the only word I've got to describe that tune. Is amazing. You get me? It stood the test of time. Yeah. For some reason, it don't get played now. But any DJ that plays that tune, shut down, bro. Serious, that tune's serious. And JDZ with the back to bases, I was saying, I can't wait to hear somebody jump on that rhythm. Let me see what I go on. Why ain't Skepta done a remix? I've got a remix on Dubplate that was done by Terror Danger. You get me? I want to hear Skepta do a new remix of that DTI tune. You get me? That is something that I've been waiting for. You know, I've tweeted and asked. You get me? Like, no response to that means, all right, I'm not doing it. You get me? And it's not like Skepta won't talk to me. He will, because I can talk to him through direct message. You get me? But I wish that I want him or somebody official to remix that tune for 2015, 16, 17. As for artists, my favourite artist is Wiley. You know what I mean? He's my favourite artist because of, number one, he stood the test of time. Yeah. He shuts down anywhere he goes. He says that tiger, you get me? It's peak, you get me? And for the simple fact of, he's one of the other artists that I've been asking for a dub plate for 12 years and ain't got one. You get me? But I'm not watching that. He's still my favourite artist. He's still been like, he is good, man. You know what I mean? You look at what he's done, like his Westwood freestyle. He's worked hard, bro. Like, man. He's worked hard as well. And he gave away 200 beats yonks ago. You get me? His Westwood freestyle, sick. The clashes that he's had, and that's another reason why I like Wiley, is because he'll still war. He won't run from the war. He'll start the war. You get me? But it has to be with the right person. He's not just gonna clash any and anybody. You get me? How much man have sent for Wiley? Beer man. You get me? And he'll embrace it. And don't get me wrong, like if you listen to some of his freestyles, sometimes he'll answer back certain man. He don't directly say their name, but he'll answer back, and he's down for the war. And that's just one of the reasons why he's my favourite artist. I think for me, Wiley is a complete MC. But saying that, I like Gets as well, because I'm a fan of the Skippy flow. I like Dirty Dugs. I like D Double. I like Footsie. There's Beer man that I like. Chronic. I think Chronic's sick. G man. You get me? Reels. Villain. There's loads of MCs that I'm for Screwfizzer. I'm a fan of Screwfizzer. I'm a big fan of Bomber B. Yes.
Bro, Bomber B's voice is like
the shutdown master.
It's just something else, bro. Like, he's got a voice that's about 2-3 times bigger than everybody else. He'll come on a set and boom.
I'm a big fan of Bomber B. I'm a big fan of Bomber B. I'm a big fan of JK as well. And I'm a big fan of Devilman. And the only thing with Devilman is he'll work, and then he'll probably like, you won't see him, he'll hear him for a bit. And then he'll, you know what I mean? Then he'll come out and he'll like, when he's ready to work, he'll work. You get me? So, you know, there's loads of artists, man. And if there's any artists that I forgot, you know, I'm sorry. But, you know, back in the day when I used to buy a tape pack, there had to be certain names on that tape pack, or else I'm not buying it.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
And if Gets his name weren't on it, Skepta, Vader, Wiley. If I didn't see some of them names on there, I weren't buying it. I swear down, that's how it used to go. Obviously it's changed now. Now it's just anything I can get my hands on. And now just anything to do with grime, I'll just take it and I'll listen to it. But before, I was spending my money, if it didn't have certain names on it, like DJs, Mac 10, Maximum, Logan, I'm not seeing them names, I'm not buying it.
That's an importance of building up your brand name as a DJ, artist, or anything. Like, if people know that you're good at what you do and you're going to come with the product, I'm going to invest my money into what you're doing.
But I thought that attitude at that same time was a bit arrogant, because there was enough sick people who I'd sort of like bypassed. Hyperfen and Marcy Phonics, you get me? I didn't know about them until I heard them on a Cameo CD by Choi. You know, I'm just in somebody's car and I'm just hearing this. It's Marcy, it's funny. And the crowd's going mad and I'm saying, yo, who's this? It's like, oh, Hyperfen Marcy. I was like, rah, you know what? Seen them names on that tape back and I didn't buy it. You get me? We're talking years ago though, like, you know, 2000, between 2000 and 2005. You get me? So, man, for me, like, my top number one is Wiley, definitely.
So talk to me about, you know, we talk about your career, and like you mentioned earlier about Deadly and Swifter and certain people being instrumental and pivotal in the way your career's gone, and if it wasn't for them, there'd be no DJ. Like, talk to me about that.
All right,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, all right, so if you think now, Swifter now, Swifter, boy, I used to meet Swifter in his school clothes. I drive to where Swifter's school is, in his school clothes, and he'll give me a CD. And I'll take the CD home and listen to it, and it's just fire. So I made it my duty. Remember, like, I was cutting dubs from Woolly, which is the only dub cutting place, not just in Birmingham, but in the whole of the Midlands. The only place you could cut a dub in Midlands was Mind Searcher's studio, Wooligan, which is Swifter's dad.
Okay.
You get me? So I'm there cutting dubs, like, forget about I'm cutting dubs that man have vocaled for me. We're cutting dubs that we're making off Music 2000. We're making tunes off Music 2000 that sounds absolutely terrible. But we're still cutting them. You get me? Because we had something that was ours, we're still cutting them. Now, some of the times when Wooly couldn't make it to cut it, look, young Swifter was in there. You get me? He was the one who mixed down. He was the one who voiced the
Swifter was cutting dubs back then.
Yeah, and he was the one who voiced the Crazy Titch dub.
Okay.
Big Michael, lyrical lord, when I'm in a rave, show them shing, which was on the rhythm that Hitman made. Hitman made that rhythm. You get me? Swifter vocaled it and mixed it down at about 13, 14 years old, because Wooly wasn't in the studio. It was just us in the studio. You get me? Me, Swifter, Deadly, Mayhem, Vortex from London, Kids in the Hood, and Crazy Titch, and we was just in there doing a madness. You get me? So I was just saying, Swifter, there come a stage in my career where I was playing 60% Swifter, 40% Predator. That's, you know what I mean? Like, we're going like 2005, 6, 7. That period there, I was playing mainly them two artists. You get me? When I'm going out, it was just them two artists that were getting played, instrumental wise. Obviously vocal wise, man, they're playing what they can get and what they're getting sent. You know what I mean? Big up Salter Streets. I've been on their record label now for 15 years. You get me? Their mailing list. But I'm just saying, that little period there, it was just Swifter. I weren't even buying no tunes, because I'm getting tunes from Swifter and Predator, and it was just them that I was playing. I'm getting Deadly as well, make tunes.
Yeah, man, Deadly's production. A lot of people don't know, but Deadly can make some beats.
Let me clarify something on camera now. Somebody's put this tune, Bounty Hunter, on YouTube as me making it. I did not make that tune. Deadly made it. Deadly made that tune. I was the first person to play it because I played it at Sidewinder, and everyone up to this day thinks that I made that tune. I didn't make the tune. Deadly made it. So whoever put it on YouTube as DJ Big Mikey, can you just change it to Deadly? Cause it weren't me that made it. It was Deadly. It was a fire. You know, it was a fire tune. Right. So let me go back to Mayhem and them now. Yeah. So we're talking like what, 2002, 3. These men are in their school clothes. Code Red used to be on before me. Remember, I played 10 till 12 on a Saturday. Code Red was 8 till 10. I'm getting phone calls saying that from Deadly and Mayhem saying, yo, these men are whack. We supposed to be on there, not them. You get me? And obviously them man are giving the banter back, saying like, nah, we're the ones on radio. You just listen to us and cool. You're not ready. NODB, you get me? Which is niggas on the block. You get me? So them man used to phone in every week saying that code of the crap. Code of the poor every week, and this is how the Genie and Deadly clash come around, and it's from when they clash to when they're phoning in saying that they're poor has been a long amount of time, years. You get me? Deadly was a Deadly Mayhem, living instigators. They'll phone in rags, say, yo, it's Deadly, you crap, get off. Sliding up all over the rhythm with the AstroTurf trainers. Like, they were raw, like, they wanted it, you get me? But obviously we all lived in the radius. I lived in Hodgson Tower, you get me? Deadly lived right down there, Mayhem not too far. Obviously Fiasco lived in Ladywood, but she was always about. Lady Leisha as well, you get me? Young these times, and they used to phone in all the time. Deadly would give me sets and that, and I listened to it thinking, right, you know what? These man a shower. You get me? So we used to bring them on radio with me, and they used to, they my proper first shut down of phone line was when I had Deadly and Mayhem and them on the show. You get me? Hitman as well, he was about Blood Brothers days. You get me? Hitman done a lot for my career, and this was Hitman, Deadly done a tune, and this, remember, Hitman lived in Handsworth, Deadly lived in Newtown, you get me? And these were the times when now some of the elders started to like weren't really happy with Deadly because he'd done a tune with Hitman. Couldn't really directly do him anything, you get me? But they're making it known that, oh, we're not, how come we doing tunes with them, man, and where. But obviously Deadly kept it real, you get me? And he carried on still doing tunes and that, still doing videos with them, man, and it was I'm not even gonna lie, them times was very, very sticky.
I know, bro.
You get me?
I know the first time I met Mayhem, he had a cast on his arm. I'm not gonna say why, but things were real. With me, very real.
Very, very real.
So
you get me? Like,
very real, man.
Deadly would know, like, you get me? Deadly was there, like, when, bag of mans has rushed him and, on different occasions, you get me? And it was political them time, but them man kept it real. Deadly, Mayhem, Hitman, get me? They kept, regardless of all the trouble that was going on, the man is saying, oh, don't be doing tunes and don't be working with him and where, he's a cunt, he's a this. And man just kept doing it, kept it real, kept doing it, As I say, back to Deadly and Mayhem now, you get me? They're phoning in all the time saying that these men are crap, they want to clash, they want to spin, you get me now? The Code Red crew, only two of them was on it, which was Hunter and Genie. You get me? And obviously Mayhem and Deadly wanted to clash them. We tried to get this clash to happen for so long, but all the time.
Genie's style was mad as well.
You know what I mean? Genie was up for it. Genie was up for it, but he wanted the rest of the crew to be up for it. Like Bronxy was half up for it, but he didn't really want to clash. You get me? Extra was saying that, oh, they're not big enough. You get me? Hunter was up for it. Genie was up for it. You get me? But Mayhem and Deadly caught Hunter slipping one time. One Hunter come to mind. Remember, Deadly lived downstairs. He come to mind just wearing the wrong set of trainers at the wrong time. Sorry, Hunter, but facts is facts. You get me? Deadly and Mayhem come up and seen Hunter sitting down in the yard and he's saying like, blood, how come you don't want to clash, man? Come, let me spin you on your own show. You get me? Man saying, you know what, I'll clash you, I'll clash, but these men are not on it. Obviously, these men are the driving force. These men are not on it. You get me? And Mayhem, like he don't miss nothing. He spotted Hunter's trainers. He's like, yo, take off your trainers and put it on the table. Let's analyze it. Why did Hunter do that? Man is saying, yo, AstroTurf trainers. They're not proper Nike production market trainers. And it was things like that stemmed the Genie and Deadly clash. Obviously Hunter was like, you know what, I'm dipping now, He's gone, you get me? Obviously he's told Genie what I go on, and Genie didn't like it, and this is what I'm saying, over that time it stemmed until Explosion. This was the first time that Genie and Deadly had the clash. I remember it like yesterday. Devil was booked, I was booked. He was booked as NODB. You get me? Because Fiasco was the DJ, but I was also the DJ as well. Remember, I'm working with the talent in my area that are close to me. You get me? So Genie was there, obviously, NODB, mic controllers, Vortex, you get me, had like Devious crew, you know, everyone was there. And all of a sudden, Genie just decided that, yeah, this is the time and it's happening right now, you get me? And obviously Deadly Dopid, you get me? And that's what made the rematch happen on radio. And a lot of people don't know this, that rematch on radio, D-double filmed that clash.
What, D-double?
He was down on, he used to come radio regular, remember?
Well, I remember there was a time when I was there with him, Badness, and a few other people, the MDK people and that. So.
D-double filmed that clash. He filmed that clash. He was in there, I remember, because we was like, Silk had just moved there, just moved, and that was when Silk was in Nietzsche's, you get me? He was in Nietzsche's them time, and I remember that after the clash at Explosion, they come on radio, and I'm thinking, yeah, you know what, something's gonna pop off here, you know. And Genie was saying, yeah, man, it's going off today. Deadly saying, yeah, man, I'm doping something today. You get me? I've already doping, man, in the club. It's going on again here today. You get me? And it happened, man. And they're saying that clash there is a landmark clash. Like, you know. You will always say Power Hill NRG clash, Deadly versus Genie. Them are the two clashes that landmark the Midlands. So when man seen Prize Fighter now and think it's the only day that man are clashing, nah, man have been clashing from 2000 and odd. Man used to clash on Jungle and Garage. It's our culture.
Yeah, it is.
Of clashing, because that was the way. If you wanted to be heard, you just clash, and people will just take notice instantly. So, you know what I mean? Like, the clashing thing, like, it's in our blood as Brummies. Like, that was our culture. You get me? Musicians had any form of problem. All right, I'm not gonna punch you up. Let's clash. You get me? And that was the straight.
Some of them legendary Oxygen Room clashes as well, man.
Deadly and Mayhem, man. Like,
I know them man used to own that place.
Them man just run up on man's set, you know. Like, yo, man will go to Oxygen Room to book a set. What, you'll hear music playing and you'll just look, so hold on, is that Mike? Yo, we're not paying for a room, we're going in here. We'll just bowl, man will just bowl in there and just hijack man's set and start clashing them. That's what Deadly and Mayhem used to do. Until when man see them, man don't even want to jump on set with them, because man, they were just militant. They'll just go Oxygen. It was only people who was up for it, like your Triller and your Bombers and them, that was on stuff like that. Just coming into man's session, they've already paid for the room, £20 odd for the hour and the CD and that. And then man will just come in there and just mob the set and just start murking them on their set.
That they paid for.
That they paid for, and same with as a DJ. What? I'm like, I don't need to pay for that room. Listen, I'll move up from the decks, man. The man, back to back. He started back to back, and then slowly, the man just pack up and go. He get me paying. They got him ready in there.
I remember when there was a band before, when there was like, man used to literally hold raves in there, and then Nick was just like, nah, like ban the man.
We've been banned beer times from Oxygen Room, man. We used to take beer liberties, man. But
let's get to some questions. So, at Shane, aka DB, says, I've been a fan of Grind from day, and he's just wondering if there's going to be a rematch between you and Logan Sama. And I don't know if we asked about the rematch. But
all right, you know what? Me and Logan will rematch. Not yet. What it will happen, I think, and I agree with Logan on this, that if me and Logan keep rematching, it's going to get boring. You get me? It can't just be me and Logan clashing all the time, because it's just going to kill the vibe of what that whole, you know, Lord of the Decks and, you know, that dub plate, you know, the formula. Cause that formula, Logan done that formula, and I totally agreed with it. I thought that formula was brilliant. 10 minutes him, 10 minutes me, 10 1-for-1s. You get me now? 10 1-for-1s is serious, you know. Like, that's not a joke. Like, you need to be pulling out 10 whammers. You get me now? Not a lot of DJs can do that. You get me? So, obviously, you know, we would like other DJs to start cutting dubs and start getting into that.
I think it feels like it's been like a bit of a lost culture.
It's definitely,
you know, the roots of it.
Yeah, because, you know, we're like what, 12 years into the grime history, and only me and Logan have ever done that. Why has it only just been us two? You get me? This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I want Mac 10 in the game, because he'll be up for that. I know Spiral's up for that, and I know Spooky's up for that. You get me? But we need more DJs to come into that and make it something a bit bigger.
Yeah.
You get me? Because the knock-on effect from clashing is, number one, you're going head to head with somebody. So you're actually now, you're gonna feel the realness now. It's either you can stand up in war with man or you can't. You get me? Now, if anyone who watches the clash between me and Logan, yes, I lost it. I lost the clash, which might be a little bit debatable because a lot of people saying, oh, you got robbed and this, that and that. The truth is I didn't get robbed, you get me? Like I lost the clash fair and square, but I'm showing people that I'm not a joke, you get me? Like my dub plate sack is serious, and had that clash gone on longer, who knows, you get me? But man have to respect the fact that Logan pulled out some big dubs, and I think, you know, people say no, it's biased because it was in London and rare. But Logan's worked for his fan base.
Yes, man.
That's the whole point
100%.
That's the whole point of me coming to London and him coming to Birmingham and doing the neutral. That's what it's about. So I will not say that the crowd was biased. If the crowd was biased, I wouldn't have got a point. Okay, there was some things that happened on the night, and yes, you know, the score got wrong and rare. But I'm gonna keep it real. There was a lot going on that night. I'm in Jammer's ear saying, yo, I want a drink, so's Logan, so's all the other MCs and that there, like, how do you expect him to keep scoring? I'm saying, yo, like, it's tense in there, man. It's a clash. Like, I'm clashing a legend.
Yeah.
You get me? Now, I actually thought that I could beat Logan. I thought that, you get me? So I'm trying to bully him. Obviously, it didn't work, you get me? But that was the tactic that I had. That, all right, I'm gonna try and bully boy him. I'm gonna try and get into Logan's head and that. But obviously he's a little bit too smart for that. So when I do eventually clash him the next time, I'm gonna have to come with a different sort of personality, because obviously the bully boy tactic didn't work. You get me? And I think he sort of expected it.
Yeah.
You get me? So, you know, but you watch the clash, you definitely know that Big Mike is definitely not a joke. I can stand up in a war, and it's debatable that
Yeah. Because
let's be real, I lost the clash. You get me? I didn't lose it by much, but I lost the clash. That's the result, and it stands, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
So when I look at the comments and I see what people are saying, like, I agree, but if I'm happy with it and I'm the man who clashed, then I should think everyone else should be happy with it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Logan's a champion. I'm the #1 contender because we were the first two to clash. Okay, now I've watched back that clash. And now I'm telling you, if you're another DJ that's looking to clash me, you're gonna be thinking like, right, you know what? This man's got stuff, you know. You get me? Like, I know what I've got in my sack. I can tell you that I think my sack is worth 50 bags. I think that, you get me? Now, what happened on the night stands. A lot of people saying, oh, you got robbed and rare. I did not get robbed at all. Like, okay, one point may have got, a mess up and that, but I think Logan won fairly on the night. I think the breakage dub was the dub that done it. But saying that, my Bomber B dub shut down, my Dirty Doug's dub shut down, and my Ninja Man dub shut down, and the Crazy Titch one. But Logan plays a Crazy Titch. That sort of shook me as well, because I didn't know that Logan had Crazy Titch. I didn't know that Logan had cut Crazy Titch. And I had asked certain people, have you ever heard Logan play Crazy Titch? Man's just saying, nah. I'm saying, all right then.
So you just had that one, just put down for a late moment.
For that moment, that dub that he had put down was for that moment there. And it dropped proper. And I'm telling you that, there's only a couple of people that can play dubs like that. There's only a couple of people that can play Crazy Titch on dub play. You get me? Never mind play it on the bazooka rhythm, because it was a proper rhythm, and it was and it shows you that Logan's not a joke neither. He is talented. He definitely is a legend.
Logan's a sound boy, man. 100%.
Of course, yeah, man. He's definitely a sound boy, and I think he proved to the world that he can clash.
Yeah.
You get me? And I personally think that Logan ain't gonna get no harder clash than me. You get me? And whereas I don't think I'm gonna get a harder clash than Logan. You get me? I'm not disrespecting any of the other DJs, but there's too much history in my sack
it's true.
and Logan's sack. Like, if you're just gonna build up from now, where's your over 11 years gone? You get me? Spiral's got history still, don't get it twisted, and so's Maximum. But I'm talking about the new DJs. Like, if there'll be DJs out there saying, you know what, I can spin my man. Let me just get up some dubs and I can spin him. Like, be careful, new DJs. Me, Logan, Spyron, we've got history in the sack that you can never get back.
It's true.
My Escobar dub is equivalent to having a Bob Marley dub because he's passed away.
Yeah, you can't get.
You're not getting no Escobar dub.
It's true.
You get me? You're not getting no Escobar dub. You're not getting no new Crazy Titch dub right now. You get me? So man have to really like be careful when they're cutting dubs. You can't just cut any and anything.
Well, the thing is, be careful if you want to try and send for DJ Big Mikey. You have to make sure you have one history, or on top of that, shells. Mike's got the shells. There's a question from Ziv Gefil that asks, "What's the best dub you've got?" Which is perfect for the question. The question you just had just now.
I can't tell you what
shell you have got, Mikey?
I can give you a clue. I can't tell you what the best dub is I've got because I haven't licked off a man's head with it yet. You get me? Like I've got a nuke. I've got a couple of nukes.
Undercover shells, yeah.
You only press them in serious emergencies now. On the night when I was clashing Logan, even though I was losing, I still didn't think that time it was an emergency because remember, we still had a certain... The clash that you've seen there, that wasn't the full 10 tunes. There was a load of things that happened, like we got there not a little bit late, but when we got there was some confusion at the door where they found somebody with a knife, but they thought it was from Brum, which it wasn't. He's just... never seen him before. He could have been from Brum, but he ran off on foot. And we had to wait for the police to come, you get me? And obviously for them to search all of us and make sure that everything's crisp, you get me? So that played a factor in us not playing the full 10 tunes, you get me? And this was why I didn't draw that nuke, because that nuke was the last dub, you get me? That was the last dub. I can't say exactly what dub it is, but I'm telling you that any DJ that I drop that dub on, their head's coming off, you get me? It's a very serious dub, and it cost me a lot of money.
I might ask Mikey off camera
how we
finish this, what this dub is, because I am excited to know what this dub is.
The dub cost me a lot of money. The dub's 13 years old, and I've never,
you've never played
played it. Nah, I've never played because it's that much of a nuke.
Whoa.
I can't play it. If I play that dub, it's just gone to waste. When I lick off somebody's head with it, then I'll play it after. You get me? But it's a serious dub. Obviously, off camera. And you know what? Off camera, one of the days off camera, I'm going to come and play the dub to you.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay.
But I don't even want to... The Explicit made the beat. He don't even know what sort of nuke I'm sitting on. He don't know what beat it is. That's all you know. The Explicit's got bare beats.
Yeah.
But this beat is a banger.
All right, we'll leave it there because I want to know. I want to know because you can't know. I'm going to know.
Not yet. Only when I'm taking off heads. So bring me a legend.
Ask Mike about what's happening with Birmingham mic controllers, if that's still happening. Is that coming back, bro?
You know what happened?
Mic controllers.
Yeah, mic controllers now, yeah. I'm actually talking with AV now. You get me now? I've got the rights to it. I've got the authority to use it, but there's one thing holding me back from filming it now. I've already said this. I am not going to pursue. I've got C4, I've got Predator.
Yeah.
For the mic controllers, we've still got that footage. Yeah. But I'm not going to pursue Birmingham mic controllers anymore until I have got AV, Genie, and Chucky as my first interview.
Oh.
Now that's only a personal thing. Now me and AV we're talking now, so I've got the rights to it. I own the name. One of the agreement is that I've got to do it for the young. You know, I've got to involve some of the youngers. So that's fine. Cause you know I'm about that anyway. Yeah. But before I pursue it, and I said this to AV, I'm not going to film no more until I get AV, Genie, and Chucky on camera. Yeah. Now they don't even have to be spitting, but as long as they're on camera, certifying my thing, then I can move forward. Until I get them three on camera, I'm not filming no one else. They're the founders of it. It's their thing that AV, we've negotiated for months, we've planned it for months. Everything. It's not easy trying to get a brand off somebody and keep the brand as it is. You get me? They don't want to give up the brand that easy. You get me? But there's been a lot of negotiation. You get me? The brands come over to me, but I'm saying I want it rubber stamped and certified. They need to be on there. As soon as I get that footage, I promise you, Birmingham Mic Control, I will film every single day for 2 months until it's finished. but I need them three.
And that's another piece. I mean, Birmingham mic controllers, bro. That was like one and two, legendary, man.
It was legendary.
Legendary, like things, those kind of DVDs. Whilst people will talk about, you know, other cities had like DVDs and stuff, there was a lot of legendary.
Yeah, there's a lot
of DVDs.
No,
and
people
Birmingham
think
mic controllers was an official.
People think that. Yeah, Birmingham's just injected life into grime and that. Nah, bruv, like, don't mock us like that, man. When I was playing grime, the only DJ I can remember was Slimzy. Slimzy? I don't remember anybody else. You get me? I don't remember anybody. Cameo came after me. You get me? Logan was a little bit after me as well. You get me? But obviously, them man were doing it on a scale much bigger than what I was doing. I was just on pirate radio. You get me? Obviously, these man was on Rinse. These man are bringing out music. And I need to cut you there. That my first ever money from music come from Logan Sama. My first ever money, proper legitimate music money, come from Logan Sama with the Ripperman release. The Ripperman release. This is why I've got love for Logan. This is why other people, they comment and chat a load of stuff that they don't know about and go on like me and Logan. And me and Logan are not enemies.
There's official history there.
It's just that he's a boss in London. I'm a boss, and the two bosses met up. I went at him aggressively to make people think we don't like each other, but we do. But I've still got to go there and try and win a clash.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not up against a dickhead or somebody small. I'm up against a boss. I need to be bringing my game, because if you come into clashes with Logan, Spyro, Spooky, Maximum, and you ain't on your A game, you're gonna get snuffed. Doesn't matter who you are, you will get snuffed. You need to be on your game. So I'm telling you DJs this now. If you're gonna clash with any of them big boys, like, make sure you're on your game, you know, make sure you spend some P's, cause if you slip up, you know, you're gonna get snuffed badly, horribly. If I were on my A game that day, I would have got snuffed in there, bruv. I had to be on my game. You get me? And I knew that. You get me? And that's why I took it serious. And that's why I went at him so aggressive. The showman, like, yo, I'm not a joke. Like, I'm a bad man in this as well. You get me? I've got dogs as well. I can do this. Well, let me get back to the money thing. The Ripperman release, I remember I was at Terra Danger's yard and I'm saying to Terra, you know what? I've got a little bit of money that I want to invest in music. You get me? Obviously, I need to, you know, when I'm talking about getting money off bookings, for me, that's just bookings. We're talking about money from putting music out and a man buying it. My first papers come from Logan Sama because we invested in the Ripperman release. You get me now? Ripperman had a tune that Logan was going to bring out on his label. I think it was called Earth at the time.
Yeah, 616.
Yeah. Now, Terra phoned Logan after I said to Terra, like, and there's something that I can put my money into. And he's like, phoned him and says, yeah, you know, Mike is here and he wants to invest in something. And Logan said, yeah, man, he can come into the Ripperman thing because I'm just about to put it out. So obviously I spoke to him, said, yeah, boom, how much money do I need? He's like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. So I've sent the money to him. Then I got a phone call off Logan saying, yeah, boom, like, here's your money back. I'm like, what? Something wrong? He's like, nah, everything's cool, but, you know, here's your money back. Then he's phoned me again, like, yeah, here's some more money for you.
Money.
And boom, here's some more money for you. I'm like, bro, that's what carry on. You get me? But obviously, it was the release, and obviously, he's put the release out.
Yeah, and it's doing
you get me? The money that I've invested, you know, once he's got it back, he's give it me back. And it just kept like, yeah, boom, here's some money for you. That was, you know, that's the first ever proper money that I seen from music come from my clash opponent, Logan Sama. So people need to stop getting things twisted. You get me? And going on like me and him are enemies. We're not enemies, bruv. We put on a show for the fans, for the people who wanted to see, and we will do it again. Logan will come to Birmingham. I know that. He's respected in Birmingham. You get me?
Definitely, man.
Let's not force it.
Yeah.
You get
when
me?
It happens,
let's get some other let's get some other DJs to step up. And you get me? Me and Logan clashed 2013. It's 2015 now, and there still ain't been another DJ clashing. You get me? What? They're waiting for just me and Logan to rematch. Nah, man, come, like, I'm hearing Beer Man talking about, yeah, they're shower man, DJ shower man. Like, step up then, clash and show me that you shower. Cause right now, there's only a few people I clash as shower. You get me? And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, we need more of this clashing thing to go on, especially
talking about DJing. At Rampage_NNA asks, when are you going to be DJing at Eskimo Dance?
Boy, I don't know.
Have you ever DJed at Eskimo
I've
Dance?
never done an Eskimo Dance. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is it now. Eskimos, whoever's, you know, whether it's Wiley's thing or the other man, that's their thing, man. That's not for me to be pestering, man, and saying, book me. I'm not about that. You get me? I'm not about that. Like, if a man wants to book me, then a man can book me, but a man don't phone me and say, yeah, come and book for free, because that's not going to happen neither.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, I don't care what sort of booking it is. Like, unless me and you are like that, I'm not doing no free stuff. You get me? Obviously, you know, there's certain man, I will do it for free. You get me? You never know. I probably would have done. I probably may do Eskimo for free but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying now, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It depends. It depends who approaches me. It depends who approaches me and how I feel at the time.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I'm not begging nobody to put me on their bill. You get me? I'm just doing my thing. I'm not really bothered who wants to rate me and who don't rate me. I don't really give a shit. Because as I said, the only people I care about is the fans. Yeah. You get me? Don't get me wrong. Yes, I do care about other artists. But when you're looking at it like that, it's all about the fans. So man wants to book me, book me. That's calm. But I'm not gonna beg a man to book. I'm not gonna beg a promotion to book me. I'm not kissing no guy's ass at no time at all for nothing. You get me?
Yes,
never ever. I'm never ever sucking up to no man. Yeah. You get me? It don't make no sense. You get me? So I'm not saying I have to suck up and rare. But a man just said, how come you're not booked at Eskimo? I don't know. You know, maybe I'm not playing the right sort of music. Maybe I'm not rated enough. But I don't care. Because I've got enough of my own personal fan base who do rate me for me to care what anyone else thinks. Yeah, you get me? Yeah. That's the real thing. Man.
That's real, definitely.
You get me? And just before we forget, let me give you.
A lot more questions to go through.
Let me give you my.
Oh my God! Instrumental.
Yeah, man. That's for you, there, man.
You know what, bro? You know what? Like, things like this are so important. Like, I came to the Who's the Boss 2 the event that you did at the Sticky Warehouse, and I enjoyed myself, and nobody really knew I was there. I just came in.
I know, shocked to see
came in on the calm one, just like hiding in the background, really, I enjoyed myself, man. And it's like, you know, being able to get people in a room and get them enjoying themselves like that, and giving those new artists a chance to kind of get seen, then have them featured on the CD and DVD is something that's really important. There's not many people doing it, so big up you, Webster.
And you know what it is? A lot of people, you know, and I really want them to stop doing this now. Like, they're comparing it to Lord of the Mics, they're comparing it to this. You can't compare a promotion that's been out for 2 years to something that's been out for 10, 11. Yeah. All it is like, we're just doing our thing up here. We've got nothing up here. So what does man want us to do? Sit down up here and wait for people out of town to phone and bring me in on their thing? Why ain't I got the power to do it myself? I can work, you know, I've always said this to Webster, I prefer to work with the grassroots. You get me? Because I'm good at spotting who's good before they're good. Yeah. You get me? Big up Chucky, but big up Floors. Cause Floors is going to be a mess. Remember I told you that? Yeah, going back to the Who's the Boss thing now. Let's just take away Who's the Boss from the Midlands. Have we got anything else like that in the Midlands? No. Bro. You get me? No. Nope. No one else ain't stepping up to say, yeah, we're going to do this and provide some sort of entertainment. So yes, it is the same sort of context of clashing, but that's our culture.
That's just not ground culture. That's Caribbean culture.
It is. It's in bashment. It's in hip hop.
That's our line.
That's it. You get me? So I don't understand when people are saying, oh, it's like this, it's like this. What do man want me to do? Shall I sit down and wait for a man to bring me in? Cause I'm not one for sitting down and waiting for a man to bring me in. I'm a man that likes to build. Don't get it twisted. I'll embrace a bringing. You get me? You're never too big for a bringing. If a man phones and says, yeah, I'm going to bring you in, I'll embrace it and I'll take that with 2 hands. But don't ever think I'm going to sit down and wait for the call. I don't do that. You get me? I need to actively be doing something. That's how I'm stimulated, by being active. You get me? The Who's the Boss thing, Webster had been asking me for a year to do it. Over a year, like before even the first one come out, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And he's like, Mikey, you're the only man who I know that's got enough character that enough guts to do it. You get me? So when it comes to the Depsman and Brutes clash, I was like, all right, we didn't even know what we was doing. We didn't know what we was doing. We were just going off instinct.
That's how a lot of the greatest things start. When you don't
even
know
the name Who's the Boss, it got made up there on that day at that time. The cage but like the reason the cage was there is because we just seen it outside. We're just like, come, let's pull this in, man. Come, water. And that's how the cage come into it. You get me? And obviously now that's the ethos. Obviously we brought in the scoring system. You get me? All, you know, I was talking to Web, so we're going to make a change to that. After watching that, some of the reloads on there didn't express it on the DVD as it was in the rave, because Shorty's one, when he said something about the busker and yeehaw, bro, the noise could be heard outside, but on the DVD don't portray that. So I'm saying to Webster now, we're only going to reel it up now if the roof is coming off, because before we're reeling it up to get some points on the board, even if it was a 1-2 man going back, you get me? We had to have some form of.
You should have like a
noise meter.
Yeah, you should have like a mic in the crowd or something like that.
It's exactly what I was saying, but the other clashes were picking up the mic from behind the cage. But we didn't take into consideration how big Sticky Warehouse is. So obviously now we're going to have to put some sort of noise meter or a mic in the crowd, so we can capture that proper reload.
You need it.
You get me? And it's hard for me as well, because I'm around the decks and you know, it takes time for it to come to me, and the whole point of reloading it is to catch the exact bar that got the reload, because it's a scoring system. You get me? So this is why it's like the noise will happen, then Webster will say and then I'll reload it. You get me? Which my man's probably already, the punchline's gone, and he's probably coming into his next punchline. So we're gonna make some adjustments to that. And obviously, man can see that the last CD only had 13 tracks on. This CD's got 21.
Yeah, man, more music.
You get me? Which sort of like it justifies the tenor.
Well, there's quite a few questions left, and I'm not gonna be able to get through them all.
All right, just squeeze through as many as
my
you
apologies
can.
to people that asked questions. I'll try and get through them all, but we've had this great discussion, and we could talk for 4 hours. But like, you know, there's not enough time to do that. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna look at these questions first, and I'm gonna get into a couple of them I think are really important to ask.
All right.
So E-Race Fames asks, do you think Sox is the best to come out of Brum and push the Brum grime scene more than Devilman did?
Sox is one of the best. Now, for you to say, I'll try and keep the questions brief. The best is all about personal opinion. That's what the best is. You can't just say, yeah, he's the best, because I might say, nah, he's the best. So the best is personal opinion. But for me, Sox is defo one of the best. Defo, Mayhem, Deadly, Devilman, JK. There's lots. Hitman, Daps on the Map. They're all up there. Saf 1, Pressure. Bro, there's so much that you can call the best. You get me? Like, it's not just one man's the best. There's loads of them. It's to who you prefer. That's what I think the best is, who you prefer. How do you gauge the best though? Do you gauge the best by how much money they've made, how much fan base they got, how much retweets, Insta likes? How do you gauge who's the best? So I gauge who's the best of who I like and who I prefer. So Sox, for me, Sox is definitely one of the best. Definitely.
But like, and do you think, because about the Devilman bit, like pushing it more than Devilman did, because I'm like, for me, it's almost like two different eras, because when Devilman was, and this is, you know, without shadow of a doubt, it went Devilman, then it went to Triller, Deadly around the same time as well. But so sadly, Deadly got taken away from us from a while.
And Mayhem.
And Mayhem as well. You know. That Triller, and then I guess it was definitely Sox afterwards. But the Devilman era, for me, was
Pepper Steak.
Like, he was big and he was big all around the country. Like, we were traveling, but we were like, at that time though, at that time, there was no Birmingham artist that was doing it to the level that the London artists, other than Devilman. Like, going around, we're going to Leeds, we're going to Huddersfield, we're going to all these places, and I'm like, whoa, like, this dude's got a couple hundred people that come up to see him, and they're going crazy in this crowd.
He's got thousands
of fans. That was a big eye-opener for me, and I'm like, I know Sox is doing it now. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but they're just two different areas. So it's like, how do you feel about the two?
It's a transitional era, isn't it? Like, you know, Devilman was like, it was pushing it back then. But you see, the thing with Devilman, like, he's lazy. He's not personally lazy like that. He will work. All right, let me rephrase that. He's not lazy. he can get demotivated.
Okay.
So he just needs somebody today to just say, come.
Yeah.
He'll be on it.
Yeah.
Even up to now, he'll be on it. But it's easy to get demotivated, and obviously life gets in the way as well. You get me? But Socks is definitely like what Devilman was doing back then in that era. I think Socks is. It's a transitional period, isn't it? So you could I'm not gonna say Socks is the Devilman of now, even though that's what I want to say, because Devilman's Devilman and Socks is Socks. But Socks is getting noticed now, like how Devilman was back there. You get me?
Like,
Socks is sick.
And they're like, even like Devilman, Thriller, and Socks. There's like a lot of similarities between. It's interesting.
You know me, I'd just throw all three of them in the can. Just say it's £4 each. You know, big up now, man. Big up. You know, Socks, man. I've got enough time for Socks, man. Serious, man.
We've got a question from the legendary DJ Bigos, and I'm going to say legendary because this is a brother that puts in a tremendous amount of work,
massive work,
supports a lot of artists. So that's something I'm going to have to say now to the camera. DJ Bigos.
Bigos, he's booked for my event, and he's booked for my event, and he don't even know it yet. So big up Bigos. The 2nd of May and June the 13th, you booked on both dates. Sorry I had to tell you like this, but I saw the thing.
Now you know. Do you know what the funny thing is? This is the funny thing. You are a sick guy. Large up at DJ Big Mikey. Why don't grime events seem to work in Brum often?
Could not putting the right people on the bill. And I'll tell you this now, grime events in Brum at this moment, is there any going on?
Well, there will be.
Now, this is what I'm going to get back to.
Secretly.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to get back to. Everybody's sitting around waiting for other people, big promoters, to come in and put on events in Birmingham. Like, get it through your head. We're the promoters. If we don't put them on, it ain't happening.
You mentioned dates. Doing something on March the 5th.
Yeah, man.
March the 5th, something is happening, and it's going to be at Sticky Warehouse, now known as Quantum. I believe we're changing the name.
Is it Quantum? No, yeah, because they've had
there's going to be something interesting happening March the 5th. So everyone is watching at me. And
March the 5th.
It's early. It's 2 weeks away, really. But like Mikey just said, if you sit down and you're waiting for other people to do it,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
We have to step up now. Us who class ourselves as pioneers of grime in Brum, we have to step up and start putting on these things, because no one ain't going to do it. The blank canvas is there for us. You get me? For us, it's ours there. We need to step up before somebody else does, because an out-of-towner might look. I've got nothing wrong with an out-of-towner coming and putting on events, you know, nothing.
But it shouldn't be that way.
There's no out-of-towners going to come to gritty Birmingham and start putting on events.
Like, as much as I've got no problem with that, it shouldn't be the way where the people that are involved in the scene are sat down and not promoting what's going on, but also benefiting from what's going on as well and helping to build it up, because there's been a lot of groundwork that's been done by a lot of people, and a lot of people haven't seen the returns that they should have really seen from the time and the work they're putting in.
You know,
and you know what I'm saying?
Prize Fighter, you know, this is saying, Despa's got his thing. I've got Prize Fighter live 2nd of May, so that's like months away. Prize Fighter live, the first round, so this are 8 winners, and then the 13th of June, the Prize Fighter finals and the awards. Like, we have to come and start putting on our own thing. The club scene in Brum for grime, the events, is for us to step up and put up, but the artists have to do it as well, because some of the artists are making it hard for us as promoters and want to charge man stupid money.
It's not even just the charging money. Some of the artists don't even want to be in the same room as each other, and it's just like,
and that it makes it hard as well. You know what I mean? Like, I got beef with him, so I'm not going on a set with him, and it just restricts us as how are we supposed to move forward and man are beefing. You get me? Like, it just makes it hard, We hear it
war starts money, man.
We hear it all the time. Oh, man are not putting on no dance. So when we try and put the dances on, the people who are booked for it are not promoting it properly. You get me? They're more interested in sucking up to other people in other towns. And I'll keep it real, because I see it. That man are booked for events and they're not promoting it. The event that they're booking for and that they're barling for money, they're not even promoting it. You get me? What they're doing is they're promoting the next man's thing that they're not even booked for, that ain't even in their own town. I don't understand it.
And you've got to support each other. But you know what? There's enough of us now. There's enough of us now with the drive and the you know, the network of people to make things happen and really build things up.
What we have to do is, all right. Let me just say this now, before you talk about you're going to join the next man's establishment, you need to be bringing something to the table. You can't just be coming there with your 2 long hands and the ability to MC, because that's not enough. You get me? You need to be bringing something to the table. You get me? There's no use like me saying, yeah, Who's the Boss is going to team up with Lord of the Mics, because that's not going to happen, because they're a massive establishment.
Yeah.
We're just growing. Maybe if we, maybe if we carry on doing it and we make it better over time, and we then build up a stature that may not be as big as there, but we're offering something. Then we can talk about, yeah, we're going to team up with this, we're going to team up with this, we're going to team up with
collaboration.
But at the moment, we need to grow our own thing and bring something at the table. I'm not looking for an easy ride. You get me? I like the groundwork, because that is where you meet people. And
that's where you do a lot of your learning as well.
Trust me.
Like you just said about changing the thing, you sitting down looking at the product and making sure you evolve the product. And make sure it's right, but it's about putting the product out so you can change it. But I'm gonna say big up to producer SX who's watching and said it's a sick interview.
Bad man SX,
so big up
trust
SX.
me.
And I'm gonna ask one final question.
And we got my Dark Elements team as well.
And I think what I'm gonna do,
Midlands music scene.
I'm gonna combine 2 questions together actually.
All right.
So official Ozone 03 says he wants to thank Mikey for the support. And he asks, what's your all-time favorite grime album? And then also, Mazro asks, respect, first of all, this is the most interesting to meet the artist, so he thinks the most interesting one. So
I have to big up Mazro, he's done a lot for me as well, you get me, he's provided beats, you know what I mean, he's given me a load of dub plates, like I have to big up Mazro, you get me, like, man are humble, big up Sam, Ozone Media, Darks, Hitman, like, anyone who I've forgotten, like, I'm bigging you up.
Mazro asks, Mikey, who would you want to see MC? Who would you want to see clash MC wise? So the 2 questions are: what's your all-time favorite grime album, and who would you want to see clash MC wise?
Is that anyone, Mazro? Come me. You know who I want to see clash? I want to see Wiley versus Dirty Dogs again. Woo! Wiley versus Dirty Dogs. JK versus Devil. JK versus Devil, man, is an ultimate shut down anywhere.
Bro, I've never thought of that clash in my life.
We tried to get it. Listen,
would be a madness.
We tried to get it for Who's the Boss 2. We tried to get it, but obviously, JK is in his court case, and it's and it got long. But for me, they're the clashes that I want to see. I want to see Wiley clash Dirty Goods again, and I want to see JK clash Devilman. You know what I mean? I would love to make that clash happen.
Yeah,
I'd love to make that clash happen,
because that
if
would be.
If I can't,
that's
then
a headline.
Dun
King style clash.
Bro, listen, we was willing to put down Serious P for that. Serious P, Serious P. We would have put it down for that. But at the same time, we still have to respect the fact that man's doing what they're doing. Like, we can't just force a man to start clashing. And obviously, JK, he went away. You get me? Weren't really the time for it, you get me? So
well, hopefully
we'll see what I'll go on when we're doing 3 or 4.
And then what's your all-time favorite grime album?
I don't think there was, I don't remember there being albums in grime. It used to be EPs.
There's been a couple albums. I'd say, what's your favorite mixtape? Because that's the name that people put to it a lot more than albums.
Oh, right.
So what's your favorite grime mixtape?
It's Getsy's one, man.
It is, isn't it? Which one? Ghetto Gospel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getsy's one, man. Like, the legendary stuff, man.
For me, it's going to be Ghetto Gospel and Saft on this as well. Like, Saft on this is a my product. Not to take away from anybody else, but those
stuff, man.
Pressure. Actually, I'm going to stop because I can go for ages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't want to forget people, man.
Nah, because there's a lot of solid products, but Ghetto Gospel is a benchmark.
And before I forget, I'm here to promote my music there. Boom. My EP, so it's out on iTunes, but it ain't got all the tunes on it. You get me? So it's up there. But that one's got like Stampede on there and an export pie on there.
My job's cool. I get free shits.
That's it.
But Mikey, bro, I'm so happy to be able to do this, bro.
Despa, you're an absolute legend, man. Serious.
I really appreciate you coming, and it's been great to kind of pick your brain and have people get to see what you've done and the things that you've done, because it's the thing, it's like I've been here for a long time, you've been here for a long time, and I said at the start and I say at the end, I would sit at home and listen to DJ Big Mikee and just be like, yo, that's Mikee.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know what I'm saying? So like, man, have to show the respect
Yeah.
of what's been done, but make sure other people get to see that at the same time.
At the same time, Despa, I need to say it on camera. First of all, congratulations on your
Thanks.
on the TV team.
Appreciate it, man.
Like,
Appreciate it.
You've excelled to a different level now, like where, you know, man can't even reach. But as you say, I need to state this on camera that it's all good you interviewing all these legends, but somebody needs to interview you. You get me? Not me, but somebody who's as good as you to interview.
I don't know. 2016, though, I'm gonna do it. I want to do a lot this year, but 2016.
Because a lot of people don't see what you've done behind the scene. Like you you and Jamie Dredd, like are the driving force behind the whole Stay Fresh music, turning it from normal man to MC to a proper business. be83 network, you know what I mean? All this stuff like Baders, like you single-handedly done it. Like, yeah, I've done a lot for grime, but I can't put Brum on the map on my own. It's a collective of people
man, there's a lot of
that
people
are doing
that
it, and
do it.
you are pivotal to us. Without Despa, I really don't know where the Midlands would be, and I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, really like mean that. If you weren't here, I don't know how our scene would be.
Bro, thanks, bro. Like, that's like you saying that.
But that's fact, though, isn't it?
But the thing is, though, it's like it's mutual respect, because like this is why I will say publicly, I'll call you Uncle Big Mikee, because you've earned that. Like, you've earned my respect to say I look up to Mikee. So for you to say that back to me is like I pretty respect, man. I appreciate it,
man. You don't understand what I follow. What every man does it just because I'm not making it known. Like, I pray a lot, you know. I pray a lot. So when man thinking I'm not seeing stuff, I'm seeing stuff, man. But I just like, you know.
Bro, you know, thank you, man.
Bro, me. Don't forget, 10 till 12 every Sunday, Silk City, shower man time.
Everybody, thanks for locking in. This has been Meet the Artist. You can catch me again next week. I'm not going to tell you who, but follow on Twitter and you'll see. And that's it. We'll see you soon.
Big up my sponsors, Midlands Music Scene, Dark Elements.